Shadows of Secrets. An audio thriller by Gillian Flynn. Mr. Phil Hughes stood by the massive floor-to-ceiling windows of his secluded mansion, watching the sun cast long, creeping shadows across the edge of his estate. Towering trees hugged the perimeter like silent sentinels. Built like a digital fortress, the mansion boasted the most advanced biometric locks, motion sensors, and AI-controlled surveillance systems, every inch of it screaming one word: privacy. To the public, Phil was a billionaire philanthropist with a tech empire and a clean conscience. But behind the stone walls and high-definition security monitors was a man tormented by the past he had spent decades trying to erase. Each morning was a ritual, precise, calculated. Wake at 6, exercise, eat a micro-calibrated breakfast, check global markets. His order brought him peace. But peace is a fragile illusion. One evening, in a stack of mail on his glass countertop, Phil found a single envelope, no return address, no markings. Inside, a single sentence, typed and centered. "I know what you did." Phil's hands trembled. He read it again, and again. The room seemed to shrink around him. Sweat clung to his brow. The phrase was simple, but it cut deeper than any threat he'd ever known. Memories long buried surged to the surface, whispers, shadows, things done under the cloak of anonymity. Things he promised himself he would never revisit. Realizing this wasn't a coincidence, he acted swiftly. He hired Sarah Mitchell, a private investigator known for her discretion and her uncanny ability to peel back layers of deception. A former detective with sharp instincts and eyes that missed nothing, Sarah arrived at the mansion the next morning, dressed simply, speaking directly. Phil handed her the letter. "I need to know who sent this and what they think they know," he said, trying to sound composed. "I'll find them," she replied. "But I need full access to your house, your staff, and, most importantly, your truth." Phil hesitated, then gave a slow nod. "Discretion is paramount. I'll cooperate fully." Sarah started with the obvious, the letter. No fingerprints. No traceable ink or markings. The quality of the envelope and typeface suggested someone with means. She questioned the staff. Nothing. All leads were dead ends. Until she began digging into Phil himself. Beneath the billionaire's spotless reputation was a trail of secrets, offshore accounts, shell corporations, and unresolved cases linked to his name, quiet settlements, vanishing witnesses, even a death classified as undetermined. Sarah followed the trail deeper. One evening, she discovered a bookshelf in Phil's study that wasn't what it seemed. A gentle push revealed a hidden passage. Inside was a sealed room. Shelves of documents, hard drives, photos. The kind of room built not for storing memories, but for hiding them. When confronted, Phil's shoulders sank under invisible weight. "I was a different man then," he said. "Back then, I believed power was protection. I did things I'm ashamed of. But I've changed. I've built this life trying to atone for what I destroyed." Sarah listened without interrupting, parsing truth from performance. She believed part of him wanted redemption, but knew someone else wasn't ready to let him have it. They set a trap. Rumors were leaked, Phil would soon go public with a confession. The media would be notified. A press conference scheduled. Then they waited. It didn't take long. One night, while Phil was seated at his desk, the lights flickered. A single security camera blinked out. Then another. And then, silence. Sarah waited in the shadows. Phil remained seated, heartbeat in his ears. The door creaked. A man entered, face partially masked by a hood. His eyes, though, those eyes carried years of rage. "I've waited a long time, Phil," he hissed. "You ruined me. Now I return the favor." Phil stood. "You have every reason to hate me. But this isn't justice, it's vengeance." The man lunged. The struggle was brutal. Phil, older but still agile, fought for his life. Sarah emerged, stun gun in hand, striking at the right moment. The man collapsed to the floor, convulsing. Police took him into custody. He was a former associate, a whistleblower silenced by Phil's influence years ago. He'd lost everything. And now, he wanted Phil to lose it all too. In the aftermath, Phil did what once seemed unthinkable. He went public. A nationally televised press conference revealed the truth. He confessed fraud, coercion, the cover-up of one man's mysterious death. His company's stock plummeted. Half the world condemned him. The other half wasn't sure what to think. Through it all, Sarah stood beside him, not as his protector, but as a witness. Not to the man he was, but to the man he was trying to become. Phil Hughes, once a name whispered in elite circles with envy and awe, now symbolized a different legacy, one of reckoning. The shadows of his secrets hadn't vanished. But for the first time, he stopped running from them. And perhaps, just perhaps, that was the first real step toward redemption. Thank you for listening to Gillian Flynn audiobook.